Starfield marks the debut of the first fresh universe by Bethesda game studios in 25 years. So today, we're going to go over the top 10 things you need to know about Starfield before you play. Full transparency, all info in this video is public knowledge, no leaks, and I did not receive a review copy from Bethesda, so I only know what is publicly available online. And there is no particular order to this list, these are just 10 things I think are most important to know before you play the game. Number 1. The story leading up to Starfield. The events of the game starts on May 7th, 2330. But about 200 years earlier, humans first arrived in Alpha Centauri, the star system that the United Colonies is formed in, and that's when New Atlantis was founded. Jump ahead about 100 more years and Constellation is created, the main quest faction dedicated to unlocking the mysteries of the universe. And about 40 years later, they acquire their first artifact, the same ones the player will be hunting down in the main quest. And about around the time when the game starts, one of the Constellation members uncovers the artifacts hidden in their archive, which kicks off the events that the player will investigate. Number 2. Character creation. In Starfield's character customization, there are two new important features. Picking a background will provide your character with a unique set of starting skills, while at the same time unlocking exclusive and unique dialogue choices in the intro and across your playthrough. The other new feature is traits. You have the ability to select up to 3 completely optional traits, each coming with their own advantages and disadvantages, like starting off with the adoring fan companion, or just having parents that exist in the world who you can visit. If the desire to revise your appearance arises, Starfield offers genetic facilities that enable you to re-enter the character customization menu. Number 3. Leveling up and skills. Now that we've covered the character creation, we'll take a look at how the Starfield leveling system and skills work. We know that following the Fallout approach, discovering new locations nets a small XP boost, but so too will defeating enemies and completing quests. Each time you level up, you'll be granted a skill point to spend. Skills are the primary progression element of Starfield, and represent the capabilities of your character. New skills can be unlocked by leveling up, and unlocked skills can be improved by using them to complete challenges and increase their rank. Some skills are prerequisites for researching and crafting certain items. And finally, skills can be ranked up a total of 4 times, allowing players to choose whether you spend your skill point on ranking one up, or unlocking an entirely new skill instead. Skills in Starfield are broken up into the following 5 core categories that govern everything you can do in the game. These categories consist of physical, social, combat, science, and tech. The physical skill covers elements such as carrying capacity and endurance. Social impacts your ability to interact with other people in friendly or unfriendly ways, similar to charisma in Fallout. Combat obviously covers your fighting, damage, and so on, while science and tech covers the more mechanical aspects of the game, such as lockpicking, base building, crafting, robotics, and spaceship modification. Number 4. Map and general exploration. Starfield will contain over 100 star systems and 1,000 planets, all with their own unique combinations of weathers, species, and characteristics, made possible with a mix of handcrafted content and procedural generation. Each planet is fully explorable in Starfield. Players can land absolutely anywhere on a planet or fast travel to a known location. Certain planets in Starfield will host inhabitants that may pose as adversaries. These inhabitants can either be human foes or aggressive indigenous creatures that have made the planet their home. In-game, some aspects of these planets are procedurally generated as players reach them. Not the entire planet, but certain slots on the surface can spawn procedural locations of habitats. Moreover, when players reach a planet, they won't be able to pilot their ships on its surface. Upon landing, the ship becomes immobilized, and players can only select a new location on the planet to land by going back into space. Each planet will come with its own gravity level, meaning jump height and general movement will vary from planet to planet, thereby altering the way players navigate through the surroundings. Number 5. Creatures and Flora. Many of the life forms inhabiting Starfield's planets seem to exhibit a non-aggressive nature. Unless you deliberately provoke them, they are likely to keep their distance from you. By acquiring the appropriate skills in the game, you can even manipulate these lurking creatures to launch attacks against your hostile foes, or neutralize them to stop them from being aggressive to you, thereby enabling you to evade combat altogether. Similar to the diversity of creatures inhabiting Starfield, a rich variety of plant life awaits exploration throughout various planets. It's crucial to understand that while it's possible to scan every plant you come across, not all of them can be gathered and stored in your inventory. Number 6. Combat. Throughout your playthrough, you can amass, craft, and wield a varied arsenal suited to different roles. The weapon wheel's return allows quick switching, eliminating long menu navigation. There are also 3 core weapon types in the game. Ballistic, which can push you back in low gravity, energy weapons, which are more stable, and mag weapons, electromagnetic weaponry, which each come with their own targeting laser. Another element of Starfield combat is the use of jetpacks, which allows you to gain height and speed advantages whilst fighting enemies. However, enemies can also utilize jetpacks, making combat more dynamic than previous BGS games. This vulnerability can be exploited, however, allowing you to target them and send them flying uncontrollably through the air. During spaceship combat, 2 strategies are available. Destroy ships and collect their resources, or board the ship when it's damaged enough. Ship combat is a dance of power management, allocating power to different areas of the ship. For example, if you want to stay and fight, you might allocate your power to your cannons, whereas if you're trying to escape, you might allocate all your power to your jump drive. Furthermore, you can also immobilize the target ship, launch a boarding operation, engage in combat against its crew, and subsequently seize control of both the vessel and its cargo. This acquired ship can be added to your private fleet and be stationed at any of the main planet's docking facility. Number 7. Harvesting and crafting. Starfield's crafting and research lets you build weapon mods, base structures and buildings, upgrades to your spacesuit, medicine, and even food supplies. Crafting and research in Starfield functions by letting you run research projects to unlock new crafting recipes and options. These recipes are paid for using resources like iron and other things you can find out in the galaxy. So if you want to craft a new booster pack, you'll need to unlock it in the research laboratory before it becomes available. Starfield research is split between 5 main categories that govern various activities and items in the game: pharmacology, food and drink, outpost development, equipment, and weaponry. The various research projects you can put resources into have a percentage completion and a resource requirement, so there is a time and cost involved in accessing everything. There is also a research tree that unlocks either a new level or variant for anything you do research. Number 8. Dialogue. Starfield boasts an extensive dialogue repository exceeding 250,000 lines. Engaging in a persuade dialogue triggers an interactive menu with various responses, each requiring specific points. Limited turns are granted to sway characters, and an auto-persuade feature is available, sort of like Oblivion's lockpicking minigame. Persuasion checks require you to fill the bar, with each response you can select having a point reward. Green options are safer and more guaranteed to succeed, while red options are for riskier dialogue, that if passed, reward you with a higher score. Number 9. Money. Credits are the primary in-game currency in Starfield. You will need credits for a variety of things in-game, including buying new weapons or armor, buying upgrades or mods for your gear, buying resources and materials, purchasing new ships or ship components, eating and drinking at different establishments, hiring crew members, repairing equipment and ships, paying off debts, for example your mortgage if you choose the Dream Home trait in the character creator, and of course bribery. There are many different ways you'll be able to make money in Starfield, but there are also some obvious ones that stand out, such as completing missions and quests, selling resources and equipment, smuggling, stealing supplies, pickpocketing NPCs, piracy, and using outposts. Number 10. Shipbuilding and docking. Starfield's shipbuilding empowers players to construct personalized spaceships by blending various components and parts to optimize statistics and weaponry. By selecting distinct spacecraft elements such as engines, landers, and cockpits, players can alter attributes like speed, armor, and weaponry, adopting a modular approach with numerous spaceship configurations to explore. Ship variations within Starfield are diverse, ranging from sleek fighters to robust warships and compact cargo vessels. Customization even extends to as little as ships without weapons or shields, catering to players facing financial constraints. Notably, specific components may require higher ranks in the starship design skill. While traversing the cosmos, the option to dock with friendly ships and space stations presents itself. Upon docking, 3 choices emerge: undocking, standing up, and boarding the other vessel. The docking capability also extends to enemy ships, meaning potentially you could infiltrate an adversary ship to defeat its crew from within, or pilfer their vessels for components and credits. And that is it for the top 10 things you need to know about Starfield before you play. I'll be covering a bunch more about this game on this channel, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.